الحمد لله الحمد لله الحمد لله رب العالمين. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عبدك ونبيك ورسولك النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الناس كلوا مما في الأرض حلالا طيبا ولا تتبعوا خطوات الشيطان إنه لكم عدو مبين. صدق الله العظيم. First of all, I welcome all the participants in this webinar, and also this webinar I'm speaking about the global halal industry, and also I'm thanking all people behind this international Quran talk, which is organized by IQRA, International Quran Research Academy, under the partnership of Jamia Nusrat Malappuram. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. I am Dr. Sadath Abdul Salam. I am holding a PhD in halal industry. Alhamdulillah, I am a professional working in the certification, consultancy and training industry. Alhamdulillah, I have more than 23 years of experience in this field as a lead auditor, lead trainer and consultant. I am working with the different international bodies like ENAS, IAC, which is coming under the Dubai government and also the world government of Dubai, UAE. Also, I am working with different accreditation bodies like IAS USA, ACB UK, and also RINA, HMCC Canada, Inspect, and so many such kind of international organizations, alhamdulillah. And I'm also one of the HACCP auditor approved by RIFE London, and also I am one of the principal auditor in the food safety sector, which was approved by IRCA London, alhamdulillah. And I'm also one of the full-time member in American Society for Quality. So now this particular webinar, I would like to present my presentation with regards to global halal industry. And now we can see this behind the slides, the contents which I arranged. Because it is a halal talk, so we need to see the halal, international halal, the requirements and also the current industrial situation at a glance. Inshallah, we'll do that. So behind the slides, we can read like definition of halal and haram at a glance. And also we will discuss about the industry coverage and the global halal industry synopsis. And we can also see the relation between halal industry and Quran within that particular context of Quran. And also we can see there is a relationship between halal concept and hadith of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So we have just look into that particular subject for a while, inshallah. And also it will be covering global halal industry structure and objectives at a glance, and GHI challenges, and also finally we can recommend some kind of solutions to overcome the challenges, inshallah. First of all, I think you all people are aware about halal and haram because it is a significant and also very important requirements of Muslims. So halal in definition, it means that lawful, allowed, permissible or permitted, and anything that is good for mankind, anything that is permitted in Islam to engage in, eat, drink, do whatever it may be. Simply, this is referred as halal. Okay. And you see halal refers things, action, method, process, etc. that is permitted in Islamic law without any punishment. So that we can refer halal is like that. And also in terms of food industry or food context, we can see halal drink and food which are allowed to be consumed according to the Islamic rules by eating, drinking, injecting, or inhaling should comply with the requirements of Islamic Sharia, which is converted as in the UAE standard, UAE GSO standards like that. There are many standards available, and just took an example of this one. And you see, you know that haram, this is just opposite of halal, anything that is harmful to mankind. This is mankind, not for Muslims. Okay, that is a generic approach of Quran. Anything that is forbidden in Islam to engage in, like eating, drinking, doing, etc. Normally, we can see haram foods in general is poisonous or harmful related. That is the reason why it is haram for Muslims especially, and also the mankind, for the mankind. Inshallah, we can see the industrial coverage. So we are talking about halal. Normally people are talking halal with regards to food or otherwise slaughtering. But you see the industrial coverage. Industry is not only related with the food or any particular stuff coming under the food industry, but this is covering so many other industrial sectors, such as like manufacturing or processing industry sector. Food also, non-food is available over there. And we can see the pharmaceutical companies now going for halal certification, as you people are well aware about it. And also especially the cosmetic industry, also very important in terms of halal, application of halal, and also the chemical industry. We can see the application of halalness, ensuring halalness is very, very important. So in terms of services or service industry, we can see it is very much essential in the banking and finance. And you can see the Islamic finance right now in different countries, especially Muslim countries, and also hospital sector, okay, tourism sector, transportation sector, warehouse, water supply, etc., etc., etc. There are many sectors now covering halal. The concept of halal, unlike previous, you know, that in the case of slaughtering, or which is like only limited in the food industry, halal is covering so many industries as of now. So we need to think in a very broad and big perspective rather than concentrating food or food industrial situations. And nowadays, if we see in the business point of view, and this is the halal industry, one of the fastest growing industry in the world. The global halal industry as a whole is estimated worth around USD 2.3 trillion. This is excluding Islamic finance. A year is now one of the fastest growing market in the world. Simultaneously, the global market growth is estimated to reach at annual rate of 20% per annum. See, in short, halal industry is one of the biggest industry in the world, and which is like showing the improvement or as growth is very fast than compared to any other industry in the world. But even though I'm just explaining about the industrial context, but now this halal talk is not that much intent or interested in terms of industrial means growth. So we need to emphasize the halalness with regards to Quran and the teaching of Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So now you can see the halal concept in the Quran. So there are so many ayah in the Holy Quran. It says that as a Muslim, we need to follow, we need to eat, drink, engage halal halal products, okay, or halalness. We need to keep halalness every time. In the Holy Quran, Surah number 2, verse number 172. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Allah says, يا أيها الذين آمنوا كلوا من طيبات ما رزقناكم واشكروا لله إن كنتم إياه تعبدون. Oh, you who have believed, eat from the good things which we have provided for you and be grateful to Allah if it is indeed Him that you worship. So this also indicates the importance of halal and to keep practicing halal. So this is another verse we can see in Surah 5, verse number 1. يا أيها الذين آمنوا أوفوا بالعقود أحلت لكم بهيمة الأنعام إلا ما يتلى عليكم غير محل الصيد وأنتم حرم إن الله يحكم ما يريد. For you who have belief, fulfill all contracts lawful for you are the animals. You are the animals of grazing livestock except for those which is recited to you in this Quran, hunting not being permitted while you are in the state of ihram. Indeed, Allah orients what He intends. Okay. Again, we can see some of the hints in the Quran, verse number 2, ayah number 2, verse number 173. And also we can see ayah number 6, 121. Also referring this, the practice of halal. And also this word, Surah number 5, chapter number 5, and the verse number 4. So there are so many occasions and so many contexts in the Holy Quran is directly urging us to to practice halal into our life in all perspective. We can also see here, chapter number 5, verse number 5. So these are all the indication and the reflection of Quran. The halal industry, halal certification, halalness, everything is directly connected with the Quran. See, one of the Quranic guidelines or the requirement is directly stating with, inshallah, directly stating with halal, practicing halal. Inshallah, it is our responsibility, okay, to keep halalness every time, everywhere, into our life. And also the direct, like the hadith, we can see the concept of halal in multiple hadiths. So this is one of the hadiths, okay, on the authority of Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala anhu, who said, the Messenger of Allah said, Allah the Almighty is good and accept only that which is good. Allah has commanded the faithful to do that which He commanded the messengers. And the Almighty has said, oh yeah, messengers, eat of the good things and do right. And Allah the Almighty, has said, oh ye who believe, eat of the good things wherewith we have provided to you. Then He mentioned a man who having journeyed for is disleveled and dusty, and who spread out his hands to sky. O Lord, while his food is unlawful, his drink is unlawful, his clothing is unlawful, and he is nourished unlawfully. So how can he be answered? This is a hadith which is reported in the Muslim, Imam Muslim radiallahu ta'ala. So like this, there are many hadiths we can see which indicates the promotion of halal and the declaration of halal and the requirement of halal, which is applicable to the Muslim, okay, to be practiced and to be maintained. Okay, this is also another hadith. These are also some hadiths I quote here, which is directly referring halal and to it is emphasizing to keep halalness throughout our life as a Muslim, and also this is applicable for all mankind. Now we can see the structure of global halal industry and its objectives. See, the halal industry can be divided into multiple sectors, and the highest sector in this hierarchy, we can say that the halal regulatory bodies. Some of the Muslim countries, okay, they have established halal regulatory bodies responsible for regulating halal industry by providing different programs like introducing standards, okay, applying standards, and also inspection methods. And down to that halal regulatory bodies, we can see halal accreditation bodies, who is providing accreditation services for the certification bodies. Again, down to that, the next level, another body called halal certification body. They are the key personnel or key bodies which is performing halal certification for the clients. So the clients means the individual organizations who is getting halal certification from different certification body, and that is intent for, or that is to create trust for the customers who prefer halal food or non-food items or halal services. Meanwhile, there is an entity called Halal Training and Research Organizations. Now they're focusing, empowering the human resource in the halal industry to cope up with the Islamic Sharia as well as the industrial situations. So the basis of all is connected with Islamic Sharia. And you see individual sector, there are different purposes. Halal regulatory body, as we know, that they are establishing halal standards, and also they are implementing, or they are they are enforcing standards. Okay, and the purpose of halal certification bodies are, they are establishing halal accreditation requirements for halal certification bodies, and also promote halal industry awareness. And halal certification body, the purpose is provided halal certification applications, like they are managing applications and they're providing services, and also they are providing on a halal awareness. And the training and research institution is also covering this the purpose, like designing and developing curriculum or programs suitable to halal industry and train people, okay, and also conducting research and all. See, in all these sectors, we can see there are two parts. Okay, one of the part is a critical part, we can call, and it is dealing with halal Sharia. Okay, Sharia part, and that is handled and managed by Islamic Sharia scholars. So we need to define the role of Islamic Sharia in that particular area. So they are involving in different programs. And the second part is the technical or process related, means like the auditing and some other things that will be managed by the halal regulatory there are different bodies, and this is another part of halal body. Okay, so the part can be divided into two: the personals, or the part which belongs to control Sharia requirements, and another one for the other management system technical requirements. And we can see halal standards in different countries, different halal standards. I just quoted some standards in the UAE. UAE is very close to us, and also it is applicable all over the world. At the same time, this is in the UAE context normally using. If you go to Japan, if you go to Malaysia, if you go to China, if you go to Singapore, all countries, okay, Morocco, many countries like Saudi, they are established, they are already established their own standard, or they are following SMIC standard, especially OIC countries. Okay, so anyway, this is an example of some of the standard, like DSO 2055 part 1, which is referring halal food, And part 2, part 3, part 4, also GSO 2469. There are many such kind of standards published under UAE that is focusing to meet halal requirements. And these are the standards which is directly focusing Islamic Sharia, the slaughtering standards, like we can call the slaughtering standards. Okay. UAE 993/2015, that is related to animal slaughtering. So these are all the slaughtering standards or supporting the slaughtering process. So it is already been established and it is implemented. And these are all the basis of halal certification in an organization. Now we can just go through some of the challenges we are facing in this industry. One of the challenges is non-recognition of competent and qualified Islamic scholars or organizations in halal assurance system. And the gap actually be identified over there is, so normally most of the context we can see that this is only explaining about the halal product and referring, explaining, interpreting, but there was not such kind of interpretation about the recognition of Islamic scholars into that halal certification process. So this is a kind of gap which we identified, and this is one of the challenges which we need to face in this particular industry. And secondly, the miscoordination between halal assurance system and eminent Islamic scholars. Nowadays, the certification body, accreditation body, regulatory bodies are working and they have nominal representation of halal Sharia scholars, but it needs to be established a very big and very critical coordination between those two entities to produce or to come up with actual the objective to meet all actual objectives of halal certification. And the gap is identified. The gap identified is current literature shows that there are many literature that is like supporting this kind of issues, and very less research identified the roles and responsibilities and authorities of qualified and competent Islamic scholars in the current HIS. So we need to be addressed, and it is very serious to us, and it must be addressed. Okay. And also another challenge is lack of knowledge about different school of thoughts leading to multiplicity of standardization in halal food industry. This is one of the complicated area in which is very difficult and which is hinders the standardization of halal industry. And also even see the main focus normally seen that it is explaining only the halal product, but we needs to be addressed this in future, inshallah, in the case of challenges in the halal industry. Adulteration and fake certification is one of the another challenge which we are facing. So we can see, if you are checking different literature also, showing that very less research identifies this responsibility, authority of Sharia scholars in terms of even finding or identifying this kind of adulteration and fake certification. So these are some of the challenges, not all the challenges, some of the challenges. Okay. So what is the solution for this one? So I think there are many solutions. It is not possible to explain all in this small, very short webinar. So I think we can just conclude these points into 3 bullet points. Number 1 is the empowering Islamic scholars to address all the current challenges. We need to empower. It is our responsibility. Number 2, adopting integrated knowledge of Quran and modern science. So this is also very important because we need to be familiar. The Islamic scholars must be familiar about the global challenge. Global means the technology, the modern science and all, but related to this particular subject, or vice versa. The modern people has to learn that may be difficult sometimes, but Islamic Sharia scholars has to come on board to resolve this kind of challenges in terms of identifying and integrating the knowledge of Islamic Sharia and modern science. And also what we can do is the customer education. Customer, as we know that previously we are only talking about halal, which is related to slaughtering, but now the concept is changed, as you know that the halal is extended all other industrial segments and sectors, and it needs to be addressed, and we need to be concentrated. And there are many opportunities. okay, in this particular area which we can work together, and also as a Muslim we have our own responsibilities. As a Muslim we have our own responsibility to take care halalness, and also we need to practice halal with regards to with regards to the instruction from Quran and Hadith of Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. At the same time, we need to be involved as a part in the industrial segment to contribute our contribution into empowering or even communicating, at least communicating or awareing customer about the halal, the maintaining and keeping halalas in the most modern technological life. See, every day, the technological know-how is increasing. Okay, and also we don't know exactly even the product specialization, diversification. See, if you go to supermarket, you can see so many products are available. Even though the finding halal product may be very, very difficult. So we need to be. It is also our responsibility as a professional. It is my responsibility. I'm thinking so, and also as scholars. I mean, if scholars listening this particular webinar, it is your responsibility, or the personals who are listening this particular webinar, or otherwise, if they are aware about this halalness, halal certification systems, and keeping halalness and the diversity of halals as well. So it is our responsibility to communicate and convey this message to all people. So this time, I appreciate Jamia Nusrat and the Sikra International Quran Research Academy to come up with this the diversifying subject from the Quran. And this is a very, very good, I think, and very effective platform at the international level to understand about the different or various subject which is related to Quran. And I believe myself from my life and my personal experience, and also from my professional experience, this is very important as of now because of the new technological era, and also the complications, and also the very, very difficult situation which we are going. It is very important that we need to be aware about the halal product and services now available, and we need to know how we can check and ensure that what we are eating or engaging or doing is halal, because only halal, it is the instruction of Allah, it is instruction of God that we should only take halal, not, and we need to be very careful about to consume any haram or engage any haram. So be very careful, and that is the message that I can give you through this webinar, inshallah. And may Allah accept all of our deeds, and especially this kind of efforts from Jamia Nusra. And I appreciate all scholars and all facilitators behind this particular webinar, and also behind this program. And may Allah bless us, and also will give us, inshallah, more opportunity to explore more in terms of halal halal, inshallah. I hope, I thanks all people who are listening my webinar. At the same time, if you have any question, if you have any query about the certification, I didn't explain all because we have only limited time frame for that. So you can contact me through WhatsApp, or even sending mails, or you can contact to Jamia Nusrat, and we can discuss, and we need to learn together, and we need to be ensured that, inshallah, what we can do, we can submit in front of Allah and say that I did this much, and this is as per my capacity. So it is, finally, I thank all people who watching this webinar. Alhamdulillah, may Allah accepted our deeds, inshallah. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم آمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين وصلى الله تعالى وسلم على خير خلقه سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.